Hey everyone, and welcome. If you're gearing up for any competitive exam in India, you already know that getting a handle on our key regulatory bodies is just, well, it's non-negotiable. So today we're going to dive deep into one of the most important ones out there, SEBI, the Securities and Exchange Board of India, and really unpack its vital role as the guardian of the Indian investor. I mean, just think about it for a second. We've got millions and millions of people pouring into the stock market. So who's looking out for the average person? What's stopping them from getting hit with fraud or misinformation? Well, that's the big question, right? And today, we're going to answer it by breaking down exactly how SEBI's investor protection framework actually works. So here's our game plan. We'll kick things off with SEBI's core mission. Then, we'll walk through the main pillars of their strategy: education, policy changes, handling complaints, and of course, how it's all funded. And to wrap it all up, we'll hit the key takeaways you absolutely need to know for your exams. So let's jump right in.
First things first, we have to talk about SEBI's fundamental mission. Before we get into the what they do, we really need to get a grip on why they do it. This is the bedrock for everything else we're going to talk about today.
You know, this one sentence, it really says it all. This is the guiding philosophy, the North Star for everything SEBI does for investors. See, it's not just about setting rules and punishing people. It's about empowering you, the investor, with knowledge. It shows that SEBI's approach is proactive. They want to prevent problems before they even start. So how do they do that? Well, that brings us right to our first pillar. SEBI operates on the belief that the absolute first line of defense is a smart, well-informed investor. To make that a reality, they've built this massive educational machine to basically create a proactive shield of awareness across the country. Okay, now for your exams, you're definitely going to want to remember these 5 core program types. They've got a whole range of strategies here. You've got the SMARTS program, which is kind of like a train-the-trainer model. Then there are targeted regional seminars with RISA, and even direct FaceTime with the Visit to SEBI program. It's a real multi-pronged attack on financial illiteracy. All right, I know that's a lot to remember, so here's a great little mnemonic for your exams. Just think SMART, RIA, Visit SEBI. That'll help you lock in SMRTs, RISA, investor associations, and the Visit to SEBI program. Just remember to connect that A in RIA to the AMFI programs as well. Super helpful for recall. And if you want to understand the sheer scale of what we're talking about, look at this number. Over 50,000. In just the 2024-25 financial year, SEBI and its partners ran more than 50,000 awareness programs. That is a massive nationwide educational campaign happening literally every single day. And if we break that down a bit, you can see where a lot of that effort is focused. Maharashtra is way out in front with over 10,000 programs, with Uttar Pradesh and Gujarat following. Now these stats, this is pure gold for your exams, so make sure you remember these top 3 states. Of course, SEBI is not just doing things on the ground, they're digital too. Their Sarthi app is a really important tool in their kit. Now, for your notes, here are the key details. It's all about investor education. And this is a big one for exams. Remember that relaunch date, May 23, 2024. It's already been downloaded around 5.7 lakh times, which is pretty impressive. Okay, so education is one thing, but what about the actual rules of the game? That brings us to pillar number 2. It's not just about teaching investors. SEBI actively gets in there and changes the rules of the market to make it safer and easier for people like you and me. This is where policy becomes protection. Here's a perfect example. The recent changes to the Basic Services Demat Account, or BSDA. Just look at this. If your holdings are up to 4 lakh rupees, the annual fee is now 0. Zilch. And even if you have between 4 and 10 lakh, it's just 100 rupees. This is a huge deal because by slashing these costs, SEBI is basically opening the doors to the market for millions of smaller investors. And then there's Mitra. You know that massive, decades-old problem of unclaimed money in mutual funds? People move, they pass away, and the funds just sit there. Well, Mitra is SEBI's answer. It's a central database designed to help you or your family track down and claim money that might have otherwise just been lost forever. And this is just smart. By integrating with DigiLocker, SEBI is really thinking about the future. It lets you keep all your important investment statements in one secure digital place. Why does that matter? Well, think about your nominees, your family. It makes it so much easier for them to access everything when they need to. It's a simple tech move that helps ensure wealth passes on smoothly. Okay, so you're educated and the rules are better,
But what happens when something still goes wrong? Because let's be honest, it sometimes does. Well, that brings us to our third pillar, the safety net. This is SEBI's system for actually resolving investor complaints. And the heart of that system is called SCORES. But you absolutely need to know about the new version, SCORES 2.0. Circle this date in your notes, April 1, 2024. That's when it launched. This isn't just a minor update. It's a completely redesigned online platform built to handle grievances way faster and more efficiently.
So what's actually new? Well, first, the timeline for getting a complaint sorted has been slashed to just 21 calendar days. That's fast. Plus, the system is smarter. It has auto-routing, so your complaint goes to the right place instantly, and auto-escalation if it's not handled on time. And if you're still not happy, there's a new 2-level review process. The whole thing is just designed to be better for the investor.
So, the big question is, how is all this stuff paid for? I mean, 50,000 seminars, new tech platforms like SCORES, this all costs a lot of money. And that brings us to our final pillar, the financial engine behind the shield.
And here's the number that really shows you the commitment. As of March 2025, the investor protection funds that are held by the exchanges and depositories had a combined balance of over 3,400 crore rupees. That is a massive war chest, built up from things like penalties, and it's all dedicated to powering investor protection in India.
All right, we have covered a ton of ground. Now, for what might be the most important part for your prep, we're going to do a rapid-fire revision of the highest yield facts and figures, the stuff you absolutely have to remember. So, listen up.
Okay, let's lock this in. First, the core mandate for all of this comes from the SEBI Act of 1992. Got it? Next, there's awareness programs, over 50,000 in 2024-25, and the top state was Maharashtra. Third, our mnemonic. SMRIA visits SEBI. Don't forget it. Fourth, the key tech. Sarthi, relaunched in May 24. SCORES 2.0, launched in April 24, and Mitra for those unclaimed mutual funds. Fifth, that new SCORES timeline is now just 21 calendar days. Sixth, the BSDA limit is up to 10 lakh, with zero charges up to 4 lakh. Seventh, you can now have up to 10 nominees, up from 3. And finally, that huge investor protection fund has a balance of about 3,464 crore rupees. These points are absolutely critical for your exam.
And that's our deep dive on SEBI's incredible investor protection framework. It really is an impressive system. For more explainers on topics that are crucial for your exams, please make sure you check out the other videos on our channel. And hey, if you found this helpful, do us a favor and hit that like button. Share it with your friends and subscribe for more. Thanks for watching!